start out with, kind of weird, I was going to actually start out with an impression of a Hollywood movie star. Clint Eastwood, anybody know Clint?
Yeah.
Okay, well, way back when he started, he did a bunch of Westerns back in the 60s and 70s. And I want to do a silent impression of Clint Eastwood in that classic Western movie, The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. All right, here we go. Silent Clint Eastwood. The Bad and the Ugly. Now, Clint in those movies was neither, well, he was what we call an anti-hero. It means he wasn't all good and he wasn't all bad. It's kind of like life, you know, battles between right and wrong and good and evil play out among each of us every single day. Now, one such battle in the magic world, back then when Clint was doing those movies in the 70s, was, it involved and captured the global imagination. It was a magic fight of good and evil. On the one hand, we had this guy, his name was Uri Geller. He was an entertainer who said, I don't do magic. Everything I do is actual paranormal ability. Yeah. Now, he convinced the public and a lot of scientists as well. Now, on the other hand, we have this guy, the Amazing Randy. Now, he's a professional magician who, like Houdini, kind of enjoyed exposing fraudulent psychics. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, we in the magic community, we love and applaud a convincing psychic act. But what we find magically a little bit evil are charlatans defrauding the public. Now, the battlefield was a dining room table. The weapons of choice, eating utensils. You see, Uri Geller made his first claim to fame bending an ordinary spoon. Now, I'm going to be a little bit different. I'd like to demonstrate today by using a fork. Okay? Now, there are a lot of ways that I could bend that fork or make it look like it. You could try this one at home. If you hold it, if you move this just right, it will fool your eye into seeing it as rubbery, but you know, on close examination, that's just a solid fork, okay? Now, you could brute force it. You could take it, put it on the edge of a table, and just give it a cut. Oh, it looked like I meant it. It's just a solid fork. Now, these were not Uri's techniques. Uri would have you focus on the handle. If you'll focus on the handle, then he'd summon his powers into his hand. He'd come down, he'd just touch the metal a little bit. This is subtle, you have to watch. Here, let's see. Get it going there. Wait. It's subtle, but look, check this out. You know, a moment ago I could not have gotten a finger underneath there. Call the scientist, my goodness. Now, he had another technique I like to call the Darth Vader. He'd power it into his hand, then like come up on the edge of that handle and just mentally get it to just go crazy like that. And oh my goodness, now what is that? 90 degrees? Check it out. The Amazing Randy actually exposed Uri Geller on the national TV on the Johnny Carson show, but you know what? It didn't make a lick of difference to Uri Geller's fame or fortune. You know, it's like that American showman P.T. Barnum used to say. He said, you know, the average person, you know, no matter how sharp or strong, we actually enjoy having the wool pulled over our eyes. Which, he added, oh my goodness, makes it easier for the puller. I was gonna change gears now from magical historian to just magical storyteller, and I was gonna have a couple assistants help me out just to check things out. And Benny, could you trade places with him there? So you guys could just keep me honest here. They'll be your eyes down here up close to keep me honest. What I'm gonna do is tell you a great story. It's a fun and magical story of a magical eagle, a magical dragon, and a magical horse, and they're friends. And to play the parts, I got some coins. Now, check it out. Did I get them all?
Yes.
Okay. So, here we are. Here are the three. One of them is the horse, one is the dragon, and one is the eagle. Now, examine the coins and see if you can tell which is which. Okay, look it out. Now, what? Go ahead, look at the other side. One of them actually has an image of an eagle. Go ahead. There's a horse on that one. Check it out. Look at it. Yeah? There's a horse on that one. There's a horse on the copper one. There's an eagle on the silver one. And there's no actual dragon on this one, but there's a dragon symbol on this Asian coin with a hole in it. So here we are. An eagle, a horse. So there's the horse, you see him? And the dragon, okay? Now, like all young people, these guys like to play games and they like to build forts. So let's give them some building material. Just touch one of these cards. That one right there. Out there. All right. Now let's give them a little more building material from the bottom of the deck. You want to touch one of those cards? That one, right there. This one, right?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
All right. So let's check it out. Get rid of these. Get rid of that. What do we got? We got ourselves the Jack of Diamonds, yeah, and we've got ourselves the Ten of Spades. Okay. Now, like all young people, they like to play games, and their favorite game is one that they call Sneaky Snake. Now that's where it's sort of like hide and go seek, except only one person goes to hide and the rest go to look for him, and that hiding person tries to sneak around, get back to the starting point. If he does, he yells Sneaky Snake and wins the game. First up is the eagle, flies off and hides initially in that cardboard fort. Well, after the count, the horse and the dragon open their eyes and go looking. So the dragon and the horse are going to look for the eagle. They see something weird over there at that cardboard fort. And when they look inside, that's where they find the eagle right there in the cardboard fort. Now, it's someone else's turn. The horse decides to go. That's the copper one. The horse gallops off outside the yard. There he goes. That leaves, of course, the eagle and the dragon. Now, after the count, they close their eyes, they open it, they figure they're going to cover more ground if they split up. So how does that work? Well, the dragon heads to the front yard. The eagle heads to the backyard. No sooner did they get there than they hear behind them back at the starting point, Sneaky Snake, because the horse has found his way back. For the eagle, but we got 1 point for our horse. It's now the dragon's turn to go. The dragon slithers off outside the yard. There he goes. All right. Well, these guys also split forces. The horse and the eagle. The horse goes to the front yard. The eagle goes to the backyard. No sooner do they get there than they hear behind them Sneaky Snake, because the dragon's found his way back. Well, now, again, no points for that eagle, but we've got 1 point for the horse, 1 for the dragon. It's now the eagle's turn to go again. The eagle wisely avoids the cardboard fort, but he sees a tall tree. He figures, oh, I got him. I'm going up to the top of the tree, cover myself in branches. After the count, the horse and the dragon see something weird about the top of that tree, and as they start to climb the tree, they suddenly hear behind them, Sneaky Snake. The eagle's found his way back and left the horse and the dragon stuck up in the tree. Well, it's all tied up. 1 point horse, 1 point dragon, 1 point eagle. Well, it's not the eagle's turn. But the eagle insists on going again. The horse and the dragon wink at each other and say, yeah, you go ahead there, eagle. So the eagle takes off, flies off into the distance. The horse and the dragon, they don't even bother closing their eyes or doing the count. They just go home for lunch. Yeah, they're here in the house, right? You see them in the kitchen there? Yeah, and as they walk in the kitchen, the mom says, you know what? The eagle's already been here, and he had his lunch and he left you a note. Can you read what the note says?
In cardboard fort.
It says the eagle's in the cardboard fort, and when they after lunch when they go to check it.
Wow.
That's where the eagle is. Woo! Well, the eagle says, you know what, guys? We build a lot of cardboard forts, and I told you on the back of my note which one I was hiding in. And on the back of the note, it says I was in the one that we built out of the Jack of Diamonds and the 10 of Spades. Wow.